What up, folks? It is your man Jackgil, Jackgil Podcast Show. Well, the game has come and passed. It is your man Jack Gill talking about the Dallas Cowboys. Folks, let's talk about it. Here we go. Well, folks, what will it take for a Dallas Cowboys team to get over the hump? We played the game, great game by number four, QB1, Dak Prescott. I thought he did a fantastic job in carrying his team. And I guess everyone else, for CeeDee Lamb that came to play, a few other guys, Ferguson, he came to play, did an excellent job. I thought he performed real well. There was a few plays, or let's say what an inch you make. What does a inch, right? Maybe if Dak wore size 8 or 9, or pigeon toe, he gonna step out on the 2-point conversion. Uh, the play for the no touchdown call was really a bad play. Hats off to the Philadelphia Eagles. They played the game. They won the game. They did what they have to do to win the game. But what will it take to get a Cowboy team over the hump? I'm so proud of the national media today because the national media didn't go ballistic. They didn't go crazy. But the narrative still was, or just a few, that Dak Prescott can't win the big game. Well, this was a midseason game. Although they classified it as a big game, I don't think it's going to define the season again. We are still in the hunt for a playoff berth at least, and we'll see where the chips fall when that particular time happens. Although I think that we did get messed around a little bit. I mean, some flags that shouldn't have been called that were called, and some that that was called that shouldn't have been called. But all in all, I think we had a couple of bad penalties, and those are the type of things that will ruin your team. Especially at the end of the game when the Cowboys actually was able to drive down and get to the 6-yard line. We had a false start, then we get a sack, then I think we end up throwing an incomplete pass, then another sack, right? Besides the ball at the end that Dak threw to CeeDee Lamb. And shout out again to CeeDee Lamb for playing such a wonderful game, man. And we all knew what his talent level was, but if you let the 3 and 4 letter networks tell you that he's not a one receiver, then you out your mind. So shout out again to him, and shout out again to Dak Prescott for giving him the opportunity, showing his talent on full display. Now that Philadelphia team is a tough team. They do a lot of things well. They protect well. They rush the passer well. But their back end is kind of suspect. I'm not gonna criticize them that much because they did win the game, and there's nothing you could say about a team that wins because a win is a win. But all in all, I think we are right there, maybe an inch or two behind them for us being a top tier team. So all those 3 and 4 letter networks narrative can be shut down. And that was the reason why we was rooting for the Dallas Cowboys to win this game as fans. And if you're a football fan, and if you're rooting for Green Bay or the Texans or whoever, you wanted the same narrative because you want the 3 and 4 letter networks to cut the narrative out. Of course, there's haters out there that can care less if the Dallas Cowboys ever win a game. But as a Cowboy fan, you wanted that narrative to be put to rest. And I think part of it has been put to rest. One question that they can say that you can't say Dak is not a winner, as Dak is not that guy, because Dak proved that he was the best field on that field last night. He was the best player on that field. There's no ifs and buts about that. Now, problems that we suffered was our offensive line. I think myself and as I listen to other content creators that bring on different other content creators and guests on their show, is one particular Coach Marv. Coach Marv been saying it along with myself, and I don't even talk to these guys. I just listen to them. Our offensive line is terrible. They terrible. We can't get any run blocking. Now I'm not gonna say all of them terrible, but it just seemed the sap of 8 games, we have not been able to run the football. And without being able to run that football, now you're asking Dak Prescott to grab back 45 times. And that is looking for a disaster. Any quarterback, not alone Dak Prescott. As you can see the difference in philosophy, Jalen Hurts throws the balls 20 to 25 times. That's normal because you got a solid run game, you moving the chains, and you're not playing hero ball or catch-up ball all the time. And I hear a lot of people saying we gave up 28 points. Well, in this day and age in the NFL, that shouldn't stop you from winning a football game. 28 points, yeah, I'll give you that. But still, that shouldn't stop you from winning a football game. Because I clearly believe we won 3 of those 4 quarters. I think we won the first 2 quarters, evidence about the score at halftime, 17 to 14. The Eagles won the 3rd quarter. They scored 2 long drives, ate up the complete 3rd quarter, and 4th quarter, we totally dominated the 4th quarter. Although we didn't get the results we wanted at the end, but I truly believe we dominated the 4th quarter, and we dominated majority of that game. They came right out and started the game with a long drive. We answered. They give us the ball back. We answered again. They get the ball back. They answer. So it was a heavyweight fight. And it was a hometown win. I would give the Eagles that. A hometown win. And no shame in that. That's what you're supposed to do. Defend your field. And all in all, a great game. Now, aficionados. Who's officiating officiators? I'm not blaming the game on the officials, but to me it seems though every time the Cowboys get some sort of momentum, here's this flag. Phantom flags, picking up flags. That is leading fans and everyone to suspicious. If you see it, call it. Don't say something happened, then get everybody excited about it, and then you pick it up. If you see it, call it. Touchdown at the goal line. What is a man supposed to do when a man is tackling him before he even has the ball in his hand? And for me, he has to have possession of the football before you rule him down and the tip of the ball didn't hit the goal line. You can't make this stuff up. It's amazing to me how all rules are being changed in midstream of a game to fit a narrative. In the NFL, you have to get a hold of these officials because fans don't pay their money to see officials throwing yellow flags. If you want to be fair, call a flag on every play. Call one every play. Call holding every play because they're all of them hold. Don't call it when it fits the narrative. 3rd and 30, and a guy completes it, now it's a flag. Or 3rd and 30, this guy need a first down to keep the game going, then you throw a flag. Call the game the way it's supposed to be called. If you see it, call it. All the ticky-tack stuff, like the guy fingertip is lined over the ball when the center comes up to the ball and moves the ball every time he gets up. He moves it up a half a foot. Not only that, it's apparent to me, these line judges that comes running in there with their hand up always a yard short or a yard more than what the guy actually got, something has to be done about that. Because I've seen several times last night where you ran in and the guy's clearly over the first down line, and you comes back and puts the ball back a whole yard. Is that a narrative? Are you guys being trained to do that? What is the issue with that? And nobody never addresses that. That needs to be addressed. Enough ranting about the officials. I want to get back to the game. That I thought for sure that this was a great heavyweight fight, and I'm expecting for this to go down to the wire between uh, 4 or 5 different teams in the NFC. Clearly, I think the Cowboys is one of the teams. I think the 49ers will be once they get their act back together. The Eagles and Detroit for sure, and maybe a Seattle team that will get their act together. But I thought this was a great game for the Cowboys. I thought they proved that they can play here and there, that they can overcome these sort of things. But it still has to be attention to details. All the false start, all the holding calls, all the lining up offside, all of the not reporting in as a legal player or lineman or receiver, whatever it is supposed to do. That's details. That's coaching. Okay, I'm bringing you in. Make sure you notify the official. Because one thing, if you guys that are playing for the Dallas Cowboys don't know the Cowboys' history, you need to learn it quick. Because they are not giving the Dallas Cowboys anything that's evidence. You guys have to play a flawless game. All the pre-snaps has to stop. That's discipline. And until that happens, we will find ourselves as fans or being in the same situation every year. Rooting and fighting, talking about it, arguing about it, until we get something right. But I just want to come out and say a few words to say that my man, Dak Prescott, QB #1 for the Dallas Cowboys with the star on the helmet, that narrative should be shut down because clearly he outplayed Jalen Hurts. All the talk about Jalen Hurts is elite and all these different type of things, it needs to stop. You guys need to stop. Let these kids play these games out, see what's going to happen. Then we can talk. Of course, there's nothing elite. Nobody's elite. You're good. You can call somebody great, but there's nobody's elite. That means you're perfect. So all that mess can stop. The 3 and 4 letter networks, all you haters. And thank God today that those 3 and 4 letter networks finally kind of come to their senses. Somebody came to the Dallas Cowboys, Dak Prescott, came to his rescue. And I appreciate that for actually standing up and coming around to see that that young man is a human. He has feelings also. And all the negativity and all things that a person goes through in life, you don't know. Because you guys have this national platform, you think it's okay to go on to a national platform and say what you want to say and think it's okay. But you guys got to understand, they are human beings. They are young men. And you have to give them respect, regardless of what they're doing. And it's a shame to me that it's more so these ex-football players that gets on these platforms and talk all the craziness that you want to hear. Just crazy. Crazy takes. Bias. I'd rather for you 3 and 4 letter networks to get these people off the streets and do football analysis better than the guys you have up there. These ex-players. It's ridiculous. Doesn't make any sense whatsoever. But folks, that's been my time. I've been ranting long enough. I just wanted to share a few thoughts about the game last night. I thought it was a great game. I thought both teams played real well. The Cowboys and Eagles. Cowboys come up on the short end of it, 23 to 36. No, I'm sorry, 23-28. I'm giving the Eagles more points than what they should not get. But anyway, folks, that's been my time. This is your man Jackgil Podcast Show. And remember, folks, hit the share and like button. Help your boy out. And remember, don't let anyone tell you that you can't succeed, because you have to first love yourself before anyone else love you. This is your man, Jackgil. And how about them Cowboys? Let's go.